Days with Moss. Hey, have you ever thought about what makes your life work out? What makes your life turn out? Is it genetics? Is it luck? Is it hard work? So it's an interesting question during these times, at least to me. But think about during the last 5 months, we've been living in this pandemic, okay? We're moving back and forth. Are we out of it? Are we back into it? Is it okay to walk around? Do you have to use your mask, not use your mask? We're trying to figure out the new reality. Do we go back to school, go back to work? In a way, we're like a baby learning to walk. We walk a little bit, then we fall down. There are many falls before the time we get to our destination. Maybe it's hard for you personally to find your bearings, to get your footing and get grounded. These circumstances we're living are very unpredictable. Anyway, I hope you are hanging in there, finding some success, getting some connections with people, and getting some positive experiences as we move towards wherever we're going into 2021. Well, my focus as a psychologist and a consultant, hi guys, hi Alex, hi Fran, is living life as a navigator, thriving even in a chaotic world, which requires getting clear about what's important to you, how you get grounded, and how you deal with circumstances without getting overwhelmed. So I grew up in Brooklyn I was about 8 years of age, and we'd be on the street a lot. And the popular greeting then was, "How you doing? Hey man, how you doing? Hey Frankie, how you doing? Hey Moss, how you doing?" So given the difficult times we're living in, many forces we have to contend with, the virus, racial distress, economic disorder, political chaos, maybe you're not doing so great in a relationship or your career. Maybe it's an excellent time to ask you, how you doing? Hey guys, how you doing? So what I noticed this morning, I woke up pretty early and I felt some tension in my stomach. Now often when I wake up in the morning, I ask myself, how am I doing? How am I doing? I check in with my body first because I don't trust my mind. My mind always takes me down a bad road. This talk isn't going to turn out. I'm supposed to give a talk in Portugal by Zoom on Saturday. Do I really have the slides ready? Is it going to be good enough? So I'm aware of an invisible force when I start to feel this tension in my stomach. The invisible force is some idea, some belief that something may not turn out. See, in a way, have you ever seen a movie and think it's real? Number of years ago, many years ago, I think was sitting in the living room watching a Stephen King movie, I think it was, and my youngest daughter Laura was probably about 8 or 9, and my wife was watching the movie and she put her hands over her eyes and turned away from the movie, and Laura said, "Mom, it's only a movie, it's not real." Well, sometimes we construct movies, stories in our mind, and we don't realize we've been scripted. We created this script, or the script has been created for us, that we wrote it, we produced it, we're directing it, and we hired all the characters in our life, our parents, our friends, our co-workers, our enemies, our protagonists. But we're the main actors acting out this movie. So in my books, Navigating for Success, and I Didn't Come to Say Goodbye, and in my coaching practice, I help people identify what's the movie you're in. You're the main character. Is it a movie you want to stay in or you want to change it? Because these movies are really the invisible forces that control our lives. They're myths, they're beliefs. And are you treating the belief like it's true, like it's right, and it's absolute? Actually, your belief is just a point of view. It's something you keep telling yourself over and over again to the point of having great difficulty seeing it as something you made up as the truth. For example, now as we're going through getting more, moving around, going to restaurants or whatever, some of us wear masks. So I wear a mask. When I wear a mask, I feel safe and I feel like I'm creating safety for other people. Now, there may be other people who look at wearing masks as you're a wuss, you're a slave, you're a sheep, you're not an individual. So these are two very different beliefs, and these beliefs can get people shot. So beliefs are very, very powerful. So I want to tell you a short story. I have a client, a teenager, about 18, a good-looking guy, athlete, good student, but very shy, finds it hard to talk to girls, is convinced he has nothing to say. He wants to get a job. He's afraid to go to the interview because he thinks, what does he have to offer? We found out during our conversation early The father was very critical and disdainful about his performance when he was an athlete in junior, middle school, and high school. And the boy became deeply hurt because he really wanted his dad to be proud of him. And his dad was just trying to make him tough and be better, but the boy took it as, I'm not good enough, you don't like me, you don't respect me. It really hurt his feelings, and it made him feel unlovable and unworthy. So it started before he had a perspective. He had the ability to take a step back and say, this isn't my point of view, this is my dad's point of view, and why is my dad doing this? He developed a belief that he was a failure. Fortunately, he caught on as we talked that this was a belief, an invisible force that was controlling his relationship with girls, his relationship with going out for an interview, his relationship to go into college. And now we're doing some real work on changing his belief to make it more positive. So can you relate to this? These negative beliefs are unconscious and they can seize control of your mind. Then we figure out a solution to survive. Somehow we got to get through life. So for example, if your belief is, I'm not smart, hey, but I can work really, really hard never to make a mistake. Oh, that's my strategy. Or, oh God, I'm not that lovable, but I can be a really nice person and maybe attract the person because I'm just really nice. You know, I'm not that effective in getting things done, but I'm gonna work to be perfect, really perfect, never make a mistake, and then maybe I'll get ahead. So these become our maps of reality, our movies that we're sitting in watching day after day, playing life out as if it's a script in a movie. So here are some common beliefs, okay? I don't belong. I just don't belong. So basically you find yourself feeling like an outsider. Then you act like one. You don't participate. You're shy. You kind of walk around the hall or the work or the school kind of hunched over, not looking at people like you don't belong. And you get treated like an outsider. Your belief gives you your reality. Your belief gives you your reality. Or another belief is the world is dangerous. Often when people have been in trauma growing up, they develop an idea that life is dangerous. I have a number of clients who go through life that life is dangerous. They risk they avoid taking a risk. They overestimate the probability of negativity. So they don't get ahead because they're being too cautious. Another core belief is I'm not good enough. I'm just not good enough. So don't measure up. And you have a critical voice in your head that keeps telling you, you can't do this. Don't apply for the job. You're not going to get a promotion. Of course she's going to get a salary, a raise, but not you. So we either overachieve, trying to prove ourselves that we're good enough. Sometimes we focus on our flaws. Again, these beliefs can determine our lives. The problem is they're limiting. These beliefs are invisible forces that are limiting because we end up losing. We don't live abundantly, and we give up thinking about other options. Once you create the belief, and once you have the emotion about it, because these beliefs have real powerful emotions, sadness, anger, hurt, you're trapped in it. Actually, you're not in control of the belief. Got to tell you, the belief has you. That's what makes it a limiting belief. It has you. But the question is, can you make up new beliefs? Can you create beliefs that are more empowering? Yes, you can. We have something in our brain called neuroplasticity. We could change the wiring of our brain. We could change the way we think. Change the way you think, change your brain, change your destiny. Not bad. Okay, so here are a couple ways in which, a couple strategies you might try. One is to establish a new belief. You may want to consider your past. What happened? When did I first start coming up with this limiting belief of not good enough? Did something happen in my family? Did my brother or sister get more attention than me? What's my story? What's my movie? What's my formula to succeed? Just getting an intellectual idea of what happened. You may also do what Byron Katie, a really effective transformational therapist, does, which is to look for the evidence. If you say, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, what's the evidence? Are people walking down the street, turning their noses up at you, looking at you, disdains, look at that ugly person, look at that ugly person. What's the evidence? Is it true? You may have a real belief, because it's your belief, it's real, but it may not be true. It's a point of view. Another one is get a new perspective. Can you focus on a time that you were successful and happy and something worked out? Can you hang out with more empowering people? You know, we are probably the sum of the 5 people we hang around. So look around. See if you're hanging around people with bad beliefs, negative beliefs, Get rid of them. Go find somebody, who has a more positive belief, particularly in you, and see if you can start, acting on it. So many of us are trapped in a limiting belief. What's working, what's not working. Ask yourself, what are you saying to yourself? For example, I had a client once who said she didn't find herself very attractive. She was going, I think she was 40 or 50. He said, men are only attracted to younger women. I can't compete. Then I had a man who was about the same age, and he said, women are only attracted to men with money. He made an average salary, but not a lot. But these are two people who are stuck. Maybe I should have fixed them up. That could be. And so these limiting beliefs are very powerful. They shape and determine the results in your life. What you believe is what you get. It's not what you want that gives you what you got. It's what you believe. If you believe you're going to get it, you have a chance of getting it. If you believe you're not worth it, you're not going to get it. Good news is you may have a belief that's harmful to yourself, but you can change it. You can create a better movie. For example, what some people do is they take time and they look at their behavior, the results, and they ask, do I have an underlying core belief? Not good enough, not lovable, not smart enough. I write down these beliefs. I decide if the belief is true or false. I look for proof. I look for evidence. I ask, where'd they come from? What happened in my past? And can I tell my mind, can I listen to my mind without believing it? The mind is just a chatter in your head that says to you all the time, you're not good enough. We have about 2,500 conscious thoughts a day, but 2,000 of them are negative. So stop believing your thoughts. They're just a goddamn movie. They're bullshit, like I said last week. So I have a client. Her name is Kerry. She's given me permission to share what she did, a message about living a great life, a life she wanted. It was a response to one of my posts on the game of life. She writes, thanks, Moss. I love your insight. Yes, it's so simple when you look at the facts. We all deserve to live an extraordinary life. We all deserve to live an extraordinary life just because I say so. Then those stories creep in, the movies creep in, remember? I'm in a process of doing the actions of what it takes to live my extraordinary life, even if it scares me. Sometimes you need courage. Take action anyway, even though you're scared. That's what courage is. Be willing to take action even in the face of your fear. Don't believe your fear. It's just a story. I have surrendered, she says, to choosing faith. And through my actions, I believe in an abundant life. My abundant life is showing up for me in ways I couldn't even dream up myself. It's her new belief which is giving her dream. So she's practicing patience, consistency, having faith in herself, and putting her knowledge into action. Not bad, Kerry. Thank you for giving me permission to talk about that. So here's the bottom line, guys. There's nothing wrong with you. We give the mind, the movie, too much attention. You then think what you're believing is true. The mind will never get you to the finish line of what you desire in life. It will not. You got to create a new belief, a new movie, something to inspire you, and then you got to do something else, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But you don't get into a street fight with your mind. That's like scratching poison ivy and expecting relief. Don't get into a fight with it. The key is to be aware of it. Watch it. Watch the mind come and go. Watch what it says to you. I have one patient, one client who says, come on, is that the best you can do? Give me your best punch. Yeah, I'm nervous about asking that girl for a date, but come on, tell me all the misery I'm going to experience. Make me feel really scared. So he's tempting, he's baiting his mind, and it gives him a sense of humor, kind of boosts up his confidence, and he's more willing to make the call. Okay, courage, so just like Kerry was talking about. Here's the key idea. Ask your mind, besides telling me that I'm a loser and I'm not going to get what I want, what do you want? What's the desire under your negative belief? I'm not exactly sure why you give me this bad belief. What's your desire? What do you want? In other words, take your power back. If you can find out what the mind really wants, maybe it's love, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's making more money, maybe it's exercise, maybe it's getting better health. Then you can say, okay, I'm going to team up with you, mind. I thank you for sharing that with me. I can now do that. I can turn what you want into my intention. So, for example, my intention that I have been working on for about 3 years now is I attract abundance with ease and joy. I attract abundance with ease and joy. Not necessarily money, not necessarily clients, but relationships, playing golf, hanging out with my friends, So whatever happens, I look at it now through the movie of living an abundant life. And since I've been doing it for quite a while and practicing it, I feel like it's coming more automatically. It's not like I have to work at it too hard. And if you could couple the new intention, the new belief with an emotion, a positive feeling in your chest or a stomach, and maybe even an image. Like I created an image of I attract abundance with ease and joy, of an image of new golf clubs. 2 weeks ago, I went out and bought a new set of irons, golf clubs, Callaway's, $850. I picture it, I clean them up every day. So when I go play golf and I look at my golf clubs, I say, I'm attracting abundance with ease and joy. That simple little purchase, I'm not saying the purchase made me happy. It's the emotion of what I'm holding on to now, attached to my intention that I attract abundance with ease and joy. And then I take the actions to do it. Okay, so lastly, in my book, Navigating for Success, I talk about 5 steps you can take. Okay, another way of strategy of thinking about changing your belief. Create a vision. What's your vision? What do you want? Do you want a house at the shore? Do you want to make $200,000? Create goals, a specific goal to attain over the 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. Clarify the actions, the key actions you need to take to make it happen. Take action every day, one little step at a time in the direction of your vision and your goal. Be resilient. Get up. If you get knocked down, get up. Who was it? Maybe it was Sylvester Stallone, and Rocky said, it's not a function of how many times you get knocked down. It's a matter of how many times you get up. Keep getting up. It doesn't matter. So what we're talking about, guys, is how we go through life, the invisible forces. Over the next several weeks, I'm going to be talking about how do you create positive movies, positive beliefs. I want to talk about the life as a victim. How does a victim think? The life as a survivor, the guy, the woman who makes things work, but they're always on edge, always fighting, too much adrenaline and cortisol in their body. And then I want to talk about the life of the navigator, the person who's able to envision, create goals, create positive beliefs, be able to master the mind game. The mind game is the big battle, not the battle out here. You conquer, you win the mind game. You understand the way the mind works. You learn how to deal with it, and you'll learn how to transform negative beliefs into positive beliefs. Your life will turn out. So here's to having a great life that turns out. Hope I catch you next Monday, and we'll either be talking about victim or survivor. We'll see. I'll see how my week goes. Okay. In the meantime, have a great week. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.